Well, let's take a look at some news stories. The Onion is apparently getting bought by somebody. The Onion is a satirical news site, and apparently, for what I get from glancing at this is good news. They were going broke, and someone is going to provide more money, so maybe it'll be in a more stable financial position for people like me that would like to see the Onion survive. So we'll see. Columbia University is hitting the news a lot because of the large protests and huge police response and the administrators getting involved, and it's sort of a mess at the colleges. This reminds me to be grateful. I teach at a community college that's pretty much a night school for my classes and vocational, and we don't have dormitories or undergraduates very much. Well, there's undergraduates in the daytime, but not much at night, so we don't have any of this going on at our college, which I'm glad we don't. But anyway, not only are they having huge protests, they're having huge counter-protests, and now somebody got a truck and they covered it with LED screens, and they went around announcing that the people involved in some groups that were involved in these protests are anti-Semites, and giving them their names and accusing them. So now those people are afraid to leave their room. So this is pretty horrible. They're making a real personal doxing problem. Some people are attacking Jews on campus. It's really sort of horrible to see, a huge geopolitical thing like this turn into personally attacking other people who probably have nothing to do with it. Anyway, so it's making a big scandal at Columbia and several other big universities. So I saw this article and I was really confused by it. Kaiser Permanente breach. Now, I got Kaiser from the college, like a lot of people around here. So this data breach impacts patients. So I looked at this saying, well, okay, what information about me has been leaked? Well, it was kind of unclear, and it didn't sound very bad at all. It may include IP addresses, names, information that could indicate you were signed in on a Kaiser Permanente account, details showing how you interacted with the website and mobile app. What they're describing here is very relevant to what we're going to do in class today. It's just what phones and websites do to track their customers. I mean, people put up a website, and then they have reasonable questions like how many people viewed the website, what country are they in, things like that, so I can decide, if my website is reaching the right people, for optimization and also for ad targeting and stuff. This is just ordinary stuff that every website and every phone app does. If whatever you do on the app, it takes a summary. They clicked on this, they skipped this page, then they went to this, because they want to know, like, did you click the buy button or something? Every website has a goal. They want you to do something, and they want to know who's going there, and they want to know whether you did the thing they want, and maybe they can redesign it to get more customers to click the buy button or something. So this is just like every website. And so I said, what is the big deal? And I started a discussion on InfoSec Exchange, and I finally got pointed here, which is very clear. What they point out is if you were to search like cancer on your website, then that fact that you searched for that would probably be sent off to the people tracking for this analytics stuff. And that's where it reaches a breach of privacy and probably a violation of laws like HIPAA and such. So although the end user is not covered by HIPAA, so I'm not sure exactly HIPAA is involved, but anyway, Kaiser is treating this as a breach, and that is a very interesting position, suggesting that the routine data collection done by every website is not legal for health providers. And then you could argue, is it really legal for banks, insurance companies, and everybody else doing it, if you're going to worry about this sort of thing? And maybe you should. It's probably true that just seeing what page you navigate to and what data you put in a search engine is enough to leak out stuff that's really not public information. So I understand it a little better. It's interesting. We'll see what happens with it. FortiGate makes firewalls. I think they recently had a severe set of vulnerabilities too, but although a lot of them have, Cisco has too, it's getting to be very common that firewalls are attacked and end devices are attacked, which is really scary and dangerous because they have no real defenses. And FortiGate encrypts their firmware. which is not that common and is generally sneered at by the security community as just a pointless thing. So people who want to analyze the firmware have to decrypt it, and so with each version they keep changing it and people keep figuring out how to decrypt it again. So it's sort of like the dance between Apple and the jailbreakers. Anyway, this is the latest version of it being decrypted. And what he did was go in here, and from a quick glance, it looks to me like what he found was a hard-coded key. So that's what a lot of sleazy people encrypting things do. I find this a lot in Android applications. They just have a key that's sort of concealed in there. They take some phrase and add maybe the model number of the phone or something, and then they run it through a hash function and get a key of some sort to encrypt things with. Pretty sleazy, pretty easy to defeat if you look at the source code or decompile it. And it looks like a similar thing here. So this was pretty interesting. There's some phone app called iSharing, which is a phone tracking app, and I actually am not clear what the point of this is. Perhaps it is spyware. Phone tracking app is what they say. So it sounds to me like it's either to recover a lost phone or perhaps for parents to follow their children. There's a lot of location tracking apps, and they have a pretty bad reputation. Even if they just function as intended and don't have flaws, they tend to be used by stalkers and people messing with people. But anyway, this app had a really common flaw explained by the researcher here. It had basically an unprotected API. You could just go in here and make a request to see, here it looks like you just used burp or something like it to just see the requests. And so you send something to the app. Here he is signing up and getting a 200 OK message. There's no captcha. You make as many accounts as you want. Then he found that the profile pic is just directly fetched without any authentication. So everybody can see your profile pic, an unauthenticated get. And then he found that the groups, you can request who's in a group, and it'll give you their location. And again, you don't have to prove that you're a member of the group. So this is what a very, very common problem these days. There are APIs that take requests for data, and they just forget to authenticate, make sure that the person making the request is really authorized to make the request. And then the reason why this is so common and not fixed is because the app works as intended. When you are using it normally, it gives you the data you want, and they don't think about trying to get data you're not authorized to have and see that it will reject that, which is a test they should be making. All right, well, that's enough of the news.